Hello everyone, so in this video what I'm going to do is I am going to do different problems in where I find the equation of a line given 2 points, or 2 or more points depending. So basically what we're going to do, so we're going to use a table in this video. We're going to be using tables. So remember that in terms of the side for y, and give me 1 second, everybody. So remember that in terms of the side for y, remember that the slope m equals the change in y over the change in x. So in reality, what we're going to do is we're going to see, okay, how long or how much do we have to go from 5 to 7? So that's going to be plus 2. And what about from 1 to 3? That's going to be plus 2. So the change in y, basically in a table, when you have x and y, so if you have x1, y1, x2, y2, here becomes the change in y, and here becomes a change in x. So basically, the slope for this is going to be 2 over 2, which is 1. Now, how do we get that in terms of slope-intercept form? Because we want y equals mx plus b, and we don't know how to do that. You know, we want to know, okay, well, how can we go from, if we just have the slope, how do we go from, you know, if we just have y equals 1x plus b, how do we get the rest, right? How do we get b? You can use a point. So if we plug in a point, let's say any point, any one of these points, so it can be 1, so it can be 1, comma 5, right? So we can say that 5, which is, we can say y equals 1x plus b. There's a reason why I am writing 1x plus b. You'll see why in a second. So basically we have 5, sorry guys, we have 5 equals 1 times 1 plus b. So this becomes 5 equals 1 plus b. So then how do we solve for b? We subtract 1 on both sides. We get 5 minus 1, right? This is 4, equals b. So we finally have our b. So y equals 1x, 4 equals b. So y equals 1x plus 4, or y equals x plus 4. This is our final answer. Now let's say they want us to do it in terms of let's say we have a problem that says goes through -3, 1 and 2, -5, and you want to find the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. There's another way to do this, so that the table method is one. The other method is by using the formula m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I am gonna go ahead and color code, so -3, comma 1. Let this be, so -3 is the lowest x value, so that can be x1, and 1 is just y1. right? Because x1, y1, x2, y2, right? If we find x1, then y1 is the y term of that x. If we find x2, then y2 is the y term of that x value. So then we also have 2, comma, and let me use a different color. -5, like this. So this one is x2, and this one is y2. So now m, like we said, is going to be y2 minus, and we said y1 over, and then we said x2 minus x1. So then this becomes, so we said y2 is -5, so we're going to write it down. So y2 equals -5. We said x2 equals 2. We said x1 equals -3. And we said y1 was 1, right? So y1 equals 1. So now we're going to have -5 minus parentheses. We're going to do 1 over x2, so it's going to be 2 minus -3. So then this becomes -5 minus 1 over 2 plus 3, because negative of -3 is +3. So then this becomes -6 over 5. So this is our slope, right? This is our slope. So now we can use any of these 2 points in order to go from, so we can go from point slope form to slope intercept form, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So point slope form is y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. In this case, it doesn't matter which one you use, as long as you solve for y. I'm going to use both points. So the first method I'm going to do is I'm going to try to use -3, 1. So I'm going to say y minus 1, because that's y1. So let me write it down, actually. So I'm going to use -3, 1. So y minus 1, I'm going to say that's equal to m, which m we said was what? -6 over 5, right? So this is our m value. Times x minus our x1, which was -3. Now it's just a matter of simplifying. So we have y minus 1 equals -6 over 5 times x. X minus -3 is x plus 3. So then this becomes y minus 1 equal -6/5 x. And then we have minus 18 over 5. We're going to add 1 on both sides. So this becomes y equals -6/5 x. We're going to say minus 18 over 5. What is 1 in terms of the denominator 5, right? 1 equals 5 over something, or sorry, something over 5. Well, it's 5 over 5, right? Because it has to have the same denominator. So we have to say plus 5 over 5. This becomes y equals negative 6x minus 13 all over 5. In other words, y equals negative 6/5 x minus 13 over 5. If we use the other point, I'm just going to show you guys really quickly. If we use the other point, let's say we use the same thing, but we don't use negative 1. We're going to use 2 comma negative 5. So if we use 2 comma negative 5, so 2 comma negative 5. This becomes, so again, we're going to use x1, y1. So let's make this x1. Let's make this one y1. So again, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So basically, you have y minus negative 5. And we found, like I said, we found our slope. Our slope m is negative 4, because again, we did it right here. We did it right here. This entire part is how we found our slope. So basically, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and put negative 6 over 5 times x minus, and I have x1, so x1 is 2. So I'm going to put, I'm going to put 2. So x1 is 2, so right here. So this becomes y minus negative 5 equals negative 6 is x minus 12, or sorry, plus 12 over 5. So now it's just a matter of solving for y. To solve for y, subtract 5 on both sides. You get y equals, oops, you get y equals 6 5th x minus, and again, you want to get the same denominator. 12 over 5 minus 5 is equal to, minus 5 over 1 is equal to, if we get the same denominator by multiplying top and bottom, we get 12 over 5 minus 20 over 5. This is 12 over 5, which is equal to, so this becomes 6x minus 13 over 5. As you can see, we got the exact same answer using both points. Now, what about if we don't? What if it tells us negative 1, 3, and a slope of negative 7? Well, since that's the only point that we have, x1, y1 is negative 1, 3. So we can do y minus y1, so y minus y1, if we want to point slope form, that is. So slope, we have y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. It has a slope of negative 1/7, so if I put, so m equals, so it says it has a slope of negative 1/7, m equals negative 1/7. Now, x1, so it goes like this, so x minus x1, right? So now we can say y minus, so y1 is 3, y1 is 3, equals negative 1/7 times x minus, and we can say negative 1. So this becomes minus 3 equals, so now, if they want it in point slope form, we can say 3 equals 1. This is how it is in point slope form, excuse me. Now let's say they want it in slope-intercept form. There are two ways to do this. Y plus b. We know that y equals negative 1/7 x plus b. We can plug in x and y. So b equals negative 7 times negative 1 b. This becomes 3 equals 1/7 plus b. If we subtract 1/7 on both sides, we get that b is equal to, so we're going to have b minus 1. So 1 minus 1/7, we say 1/7. And then, so 21 minus 1 is 20, so 20/7 is b. So we can say that this becomes y equals negative 1/7 x plus 1/7. So this is y equals negative x plus 1/7. It works. Or you can do it this way, where you say x equals negative 7 x plus 1. You can distribute, so minus 3 equals negative 1/7 x minus 1/7. You add 3 to both sides. This is y equals negative 1/7. So it's going to be 21/7, which is 3. So 21, so minus 1/7. So negative 1/7 x minus 7 plus 3. This then becomes y equals negative 1/7 x minus 1/7 plus 3/1. Multiply 7 on top of it, you get 1/7 x plus 21%. This becomes y equals negative x minus 1 all over 7. This is negative x all over 7. It's the same thing as here. So, in reality, guys, this is how you do it in, like, this is how it's, how the difference between and formula method, as well as doing it using point slope form and slope intercept form, and just the difference using the y formula, the point formula, from the point slope formula to slope intercept form, or just getting the point and again so doing 2 different points using slope and slope intercept. So I know this was a very kind of all over the place kind of video, but I really hope this helps. I hope that I can, I hope this all makes a little bit of sense.